Well, what are you about to do?
Take over.
What are you about to do right now, though?
Take over.
So it's the Christeria Lynn. So it's the Christeria Lynn. So it's the Christeria Lynn. So me llamo Christeria.
Hola, ¿qué lo que? Me llamo Christeria. Welcome to my show.
Me llamo Christeria. Christeria Lynn Show.
You've seen her on stage and on the big screen. Check this out.
I grew up in Atlanta doing freak nigga. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Like, oh, I get so excited. You know what? I believe there is an inner Cardi B in me. It's a Cardi B in me. Anytime I hear that hill music, I be doing this. Ow, ow, ow. Need to be a stripper. Let me stop this shit before I make it rain for real. You know what? It's funny because I like me. It's rough out here. Many ladies always say it's hard dating in Atlanta, and it is. It's 22 women to 1 man. Ladies, did y'all know that? My homegirl ran up on me the other day talking about, oh my God, Kiki, we got to make a decision. I'm like, girl, what kind of decision we got to make? She was like, girl, we got to decide we're going to be a side chick. If there's any side chicks in here, don't say nothing, just breathe.
Today we have the Kiana Dancie with us.
Hey, sis.
Hey, sis, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. So you were born in Cleveland, Ohio, OH?
Girl, yes, I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, but that's all I know. I was born there. I stayed there till I was about 7, and my mother picked up and moved to Atlanta, so.
Okay, so you disowning the OH?
No, I mean, I don't. I'm not disowning, but I always tell the people, I go home when people get married or buried. Choose when you want to see me. Are you in a box or a dress? First of all, it's cold in Cleveland. You hear me? And it's just, for me, home, I identify home with where my mama is, and my mama is in Georgia, so this is home for me.
And where you have a panty drawer.
Hey, girl. See, telling my secrets. Wherever you got a panty drawer, honey, that is home. So I got a couple panty drawers. I got one in Atlanta, one in Houston, one in LA, you know, a few in New York. But yes.
I'm going to take the 5th on that one.
I tell my tea, so nobody else can tell it.
Okay, so you're a former co-host of TV's One Sister Circle.
Yes.
You are a franchise owner, a new author,
Yes.
and a comedian.
Yes, ma'am.
You starred in Who's Got Jokes along with Bill Bellamy. Tell us more about that.
You know, not only did I star in Who's Got Jokes with Bill Bellamy, but also Off the Chain with Rodney Perry. It was an amazing experience. And I'll be very honest with you. I started stand-up it was a dare. My girlfriend dared me to do stand-up because I was telling her about my breakups and my makeups of my long-term relationship. And she said, Kiana, you need to tell this on stage. And I was like, you want to laugh at my misery? She was like, yes. So she dared me to do open mic in Houston, Texas. I did it. They didn't throw fruit at me. They didn't.
Really?
Yes, and they invited me back. So I felt like, this might be something that I can actually do professionally. But what I did not know is how did you make money being a stand-up comedian. So I started writing a column called Comedy Cocktails with Houston Style Magazine, and I was interviewing different comedians. Sat with the likes of Dave Chapelle, Monique, Lunel. These are all people that I sat with, picking their brain to find out about stand-up. So I eventually got the opportunity to shoot Who's Got Jokes with Bill Bellamy. I didn't win, but it was an amazing experience because I got to work with Tommy Ford, rest in peace. And so it was just good for me. And from there on, it was just up, up, up.
How do you think the comedy industry is as it pertains to women?
Oh, it's very complicated. Just like with anything, when you're a female in any business, you're going to have a certain set of obstacles. So, for example, when I walk into the room as a female, and it don't hurt that you're kind of cute.
I have.
It doesn't hurt that you're kind of fine. But when you walk into the room, a lot of times men don't see you for who you are, meaning your talent. They see a big vagina. They see an opportunity.
Not the vagina,
girl,
though.
come on.
The vajayjay.
I'm being nice because I like to say the P word, but I'm saved. You know what I'm saying? But I'm savage. But I'll tell you this, they don't see you for who you are. It is what they see initially is an opportunity. So you have to come in, or I had to have come into the room and let them know, 1, I'm not here to play with you. 2, I'm about my business. And 3, I ain't interested in you. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult. There's rules that I had to learn being on the road and being a female in the business. And I'll tell you 1, or maybe 2. First, when you're traveling on the road, oftentimes you're traveling by yourself. I never ever received my key from the promoter. Oftentimes the promoter will give you the key thinking that's okay. No, it's not okay, because I don't know if you've been in my room. I don't know if you did something to the key. So no, leave my key at the front desk. And matter of fact, I'm gonna switch my room because I don't know if you have an extra key to my room.
Good
Then
stuff.
yes, and the other thing is, another rule is I always make contact with somebody in the market. So if I'm traveling, when I get there, someone else know I'm there. So whether they meet me at the hotel or meet me at the venue, or at least on standby if I need them, because you don't want the promoter or the people that's on the show to assume that you're solo by yourself and you have no crew, you have no people. I always tell them I got a shooter in the back. Just, someone's always watching my six. So, those are rules that you learn over time, or someone has took the time to tell you.
That's good stuff, because I've never thought of like, hey, you're here, here's your key. Someone could have put a camera in your room or did whatever kind of access. So that's good stuff. So I hope somebody can take something from that. But you are a new author.
Yes, I
You have a
am.
book
New
called-
author and publisher. Yes,
woo!
I self-published my book so that I can have control. Yes.
It's all about control.
All about
control and ownership.
Control.
You have a new book called Bye Bye Bags.
Yes.
Laughing
to lighten the load.
to lighten the
Absolutely.
load. By
Bam, get the book.
The Kiana Dancie.
Yes.
What inspired you to write this, and what is the book about?
Okay, so I'm gonna be very, very transparent with you.
Please do.
I was inspired to write the book because I was having plastic surgery. I got the bags under my eyes removed, and as I was laying in my bed healing externally, I made the decision. Well, actually, I won't lie, it wasn't my decision. It was God. God spoke to me directly. He said, "Baby girl, you're gonna be real pretty when you come up out of these bandages. You're gonna look gorgeous. You're gonna look refreshed. The clock gonna be pulled back, but you're gonna be pretty on the outside, but baby, you need to fix that inside." So I was walking around carrying so much baggage, so much drama, so much trauma, that I forgot that even though I'm a, attractive woman outside, or like we're nice looking outside, but if you're not, just because you're nice looking on the outside and you haven't fixed your inside, guess what? You're still ugly, right?
You are.
So as I was laying there, I was like, you know what? I need to make a decision. God said, yeah, fix your inside. Let go of the things that's been holding you back and holding you down. So let me tell you what I did.
Preach.
Come on. So let me tell you what I did, and I'm gonna encourage you to do the same. I called my mom. I said, "Mommy, come up here. Oh my God, come up here." And she was like, "What's wrong?" Like, I just had surgery. So she thinking something wrong. And I was like, "No, get a pen, get a piece of paper, write this down." So I told her to write down one thing that reminded me of a shortcoming, one thing that reminded me of a failure, one thing that reminded me of a shortcoming, failure, and insecurity. So we wrote it down, and when I got up, I tore it up. And as soon as I tore it up, baby, I burnt it up. Because what I did not want to do is be held captive or hostage by anything that reminded me of that. So I encourage you to do the same. So while you're steady walking around here, you're being pretty on the inside, but you're ugly on the inside, pretty on the inside, ugly on the inside. Why? Because you're carrying all this drama and this trauma that you have not allowed yourself to heal from. 9 times out of 10, the person you mad at is moved on with their life.
We'll be right back with more of the Christeria Lynn Show.
Christeria Lynn Show. Christeria Lynn Show.
The book is about using laughter to heal yourself whole. Let me explain. It takes the same amount of energy that it takes to cry than it does to laugh. So some days you just gonna have to laugh at your dramas. Some days you're gonna have to laugh. Girl, I'm so sad about this man, but he wasn't that cute. You know what I mean? So he wasn't that cute, and your sex wasn't that good, and you broke, and I didn't like your mama. So, so you got to make a decision to choose joy. I know that you've seen that memes online, and people say, "I woke up this morning and I chose violence. I chose anger." No. You gotta change you gotta change your perspective. You gotta choose peace, joy, and happiness, because nobody can control that but you. Period.
And I think that's where a lot of people get it twisted. A while ago, I was doing an interview. And the one thing that I did learn prior to the interview is that when you change your perspective, you change your life.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of times we look at stuff as obstacles, and sometimes we can look at them as opportunities.
Yes.
And then a lot of times we look at opportunities, and then sometimes they're not opportunities, they're obstacles. So it just really depends on how you look at stuff. And you said something I want to touch on, is that one thing, right?
Yeah, write them down.
I've been trying to, that one thing.
Right.
That one thing that you're talking about is that for me, it's been like forgiveness.
Come on. Tear it up. Write it down.
It's one of those hard things.
No,
so.
yes. but you have to do it. And anytime if you want to work on your own internal healing, you have to make a decision that you're going to do the work. That's the problem. As a people and as individuals, we're still broken. But you have to make a decision, how broken are you going to remain? You understand what I'm saying? Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm nobody's preacher, nobody's pastor. I don't have a degree in counseling. None. I did my own personal work. I'm a child molestation survivor.
I am
Come
too.
on. And I decided that I was not going to let that hold me back. My mother asked me, she said, you sitting on national syndicated talk show every day, and you never talk to these people. You never speak your story. You never tell your truth. Why? I said, well, Mommy, I thought that made people look at you as a bad mom. She said, no. I thought you to talk about it because you still was dealing with it. But here's the thing. My mother said, baby, if you cut on the light, you'll realize that you're not the only one in the room.
Yeah. Hey, preach.
When I tell you, when I started talking about I'm a survivor, not only did I take my power back, right? I also encourage other people to come out and tell their story. And it was me too. When I told my mom, she didn't believe me. Or men also has come to me and said, man, I dealt with that. I didn't know what to do with that. But again, you got to write it down, because that's a bag that you carry. And that shows up in your relationships, your job, and how you eat, right? So you're trying to eat your woes away, but that's baggage that you carry, and you need to unpack it.
Christeria Lynn Show.
Gay galore, or lo que no es.
If you wanna leave, go ahead and leave. Ah, la, la. I know she like me, but I'm not what she needs. Ah, la, la. I wanted you like you swear you wanted me. I play this game for fun, I burn all the keys. Ah, la, la. It's all gibberish when they talking to me. Ah, la, la. One man, one body is nobody with me. Ah, la, la. I don't need no armies, get with me. I play this game for fun, I burn all the keys. All the keys.
Hey, this is Chef Jannard Wells, and you're watching the Christeria Lynn Show.
We'll be right back with more of the Christeria Lynn Show.
Christeria Lynn Show. Christeria Lynn Show.
You've touched on several points. Really. And I mean, and this is so critical and it's so impactful to me, because I think a lot of times people struggle with the things that you're saying. Because I released my book in March of 2019, and it was talking about, you know, me being touched at the age of 9, me being raped and kidnapped. And a lot of people didn't know my story. And the one thing that you said is that I was afraid to tell my story because I thought people would look at me in a certain way. But when I told my story, I realized how many people it helped.
Yeah. Yes.
But then you also said is that you worked on yourself.
Yeah.
And in this day and age is that a lot of people are afraid to work on themselves. They think that it's not, you know, therapy and working on yourself is not a requirement, or it's a stigma that is attached to it.
Yes.
How would you tell someone to heal? Because I took 3 years, no sex, no relationships, no nothing, just to deal with my issues and to make me beautiful from the inside out.
So let me tell you this. First of all things work for the greater good. If you're a believer, you got to know that nothing that you've been through will be wasted. Period. Every bad thing, every good thing, every sun thing, everything is going to work for the greater good. God promised to give you beauty for your ashes.
Yes.
Period. Now, here's the thing what I want you to do. I prescribe in PCP, not the drug. But I'm going to tell you, PCP. First of all, pray. Prayer without works is what? Dead. So you got to pray. You absolutely got to pray. But you also need a couch. Sis, you need to find somebody who is capable of helping you unpack all your dramas and your traumas. And it can't be all the time your mama. It can't be your girlfriend who's not equipped to help you sort through it. And then the next one is P, which is a prescription. You might need to get a prescription, sis. You might need somebody to write you some medicine to deal with your traumas and your dramas.
Right.
So PCP. And I think also if the first thing that you need to do absolutely is acknowledge that you have a problem, male and female. So the issue is quite often we're walking around saying we're okay, I'm good, I'm straight, I'm fine, but no, you're not. You're drinking your woes away, you're smoking your woes away, you're eating your woes away, you're having sex to forget about what happened to you. But what you need to do is stop. Acknowledge the problem, have a full-fledged conversation with yourself in the mirror, and then say, hey, what I'm not going to do is allow this to take any more control in my life. Now, so when I mentioned to you, write it down, tear it up, and burn it up. See, fire has a significance. Fire reflects renewal. You know how they do controlled fires in the forest. They want to burn the underbrush. They want to get rid of anything that can choke life out of the forest, right? Well, you need to do the same thing. So write it down, tear it up, and burn it up. Now, one of my girlfriends, child, you know how they do. You know how the girls do. She said, girl, I'm about to go burn him up. Ma'am, let me tell you something. What you can't do is burn that man. I said, but you can write his name on this paper. I'm not saying, I'm not going to endorse it, but I will tell you, your friend got some money, I can go get the barn. But you might be on your own, and like, I can help, but I don't know if I can completely save you. But I don't encourage that, but I definitely, because here's the honest truth. I was in a long-term relationship. So I was in a relationship from 19 years old to 29. That man did not marry me, although he asked me to marry him 4 times. So every time he asked me to marry him, it was an escalation of desperation. And I knew that that wasn't the man for me. So I wrote my bags down. And I'm going to be transparent to you what my bags were. I'm a child molestation, at the time, victim. Right? I wrote it down. When I tore it up, I became what? A survivor. Then I went through the long-term relationship. That didn't make, I was just a girlfriend, never became his wife, right? 10 years, baby, I love that man so much I would have married him on a bike with no socks. You know that kind of love? You know how crazy it had to be? Kind of love, you know how crazy it had to be in love with a man that would ride a bike with the spikes on the pedal? Girl. Okay, so then the last one is I lost my dream job as Sister Circle co-host. Didn't even know that was coming. No one talked to me about it. Nobody's pulled my coattails, say, hey girl, you know you about to lose your job. I didn't know. But I was walking around so frustrated and angry and mad about all of that. So what I had to do was write it down, tear it up, and burn it up. And I started anew, and here I am.
Amen. So we've talked to you before in reference to Sister Circle.
Yes.
And I love Sister Circle.
Yes.
Why do you think, I know this may be it.
It's in the book, girl, chapter 10. Come on, what's your question?
Do you believe that in this entertainment industry that sometimes the following is not best for entertainment?
Absolutely. I think the people, the powers that be, the people that make the decisions are looking at the numbers and hoping that once you if you put somebody at the table or put somebody on the show or you cast somebody, ideally their followers and their supporters will support whatever they're doing. But that's not always the case. I really don't know why the show didn't do well after I left. I don't know why the show was canceled.
You know why.
Girl, I ain't in that. I'm just telling you what the people said.
We'll be right back with more of the Christeria Lynn Show.
Christeria Lynn Show. Christeria Lynn Show.
Girl, I ain't in that. I'm just telling you what the people said, but I am going to say this. I wish every one of those women the best of luck.
Yes.
I hold no ill will in my heart for them or anyone that was attached to the show. It was an amazing, beautiful experience for me. Do I wish that it could have been me sitting there at the second season? Absolutely. Considering the fact I celebrated second season. Girl, I was popping bottles. Boop, 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 boop. Didn't know. Took the pictures. I was in the photo shoot for the second season, and who knew that I wasn't going to be there? But that's okay, because God showed me where he can take me and where I was going. And whether I was going there or not, there is an opportunity for me. And it may not even be at a seat with other women. It might be my own. So I have no regrets. I have no ill will. All I know is that the following, ideally, you would think if they support you here, they'll support you wherever you go. But the industry is misled sometimes. They don't always know. But I do know that my fans are amazing. I love y'all. Shout out to the Dancie darlings. My fans are amazing. So, wherever I go, I'm hoping that they will continue to support me. I've been loyal to them, and of course, they've been loyal to me.
If you can give anyone a piece of motivational advice, what would that be?
Baby, let me tell you, you got one life. Nobody knew that we were going to wake up 2020 and the whole world was going to shut down. Who knew? So if you didn't get your life together, that was an opportunity for everybody. It could have been somebody that's 10 steps ahead of you, 20 steps ahead of you, 10 steps behind you. But that gave everybody to be still at the same time to reset, right? So I encourage you to take a look at your landscape, at your life, reevaluate your social circle, reevaluate you. Some people are not meant to go to every level that you're on.
That is correct.
Everybody can't breathe at every elevation. So you need to be mindful of who you taking. And sometimes you have to realize those people are just for a season. And it might be your mama. It is what it is. But make the decision that you're going to keep people around you that pour into you. The most important thing I want you to remember, and this is going to sound very contradictory, but follow me. When you're considering certain things, when you're looking at the world and the opportunities that are available to you, look at the cup as half full. It's full. There's more perspective. You can pour more into this cup, more opportunities, more chances. Ooh. Right. But when you're looking at your time personally, looking at you, how much you have to do, what you have to offer, how much you got to bring to the table to everybody else, always look at the cup as half empty. You know why? Because if you pour your cup empty, you have nothing left for you. So the only thing that you need to offer to people, the only thing that you need to offer to people is the saucer. They can drink from your cup when it's running over, but when you are half empty, you have nothing else to give. You only give them what you can. So you give them the saucer. Like, sis, bruh, you can have this saucer, but you can't have this cup. You be selfish about your time and your energy. Protect your space and your peace, period.
That is a mouthful. That is amazing. Please tell the people where they can find you.
Listen, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all things social, at Kiana Dancie. That's Kiana Dancie. But the most important thing today is I want you to remember to get this book. The book can be bought on Instagram. Well, I'm sorry, my link is on Instagram, but you can buy it on Amazon, Target, my website. You get it from my website, kianadancie.com. You actually get an autographed copy and a little gift. But get the book. I want you to do the work. On page 275, there's some reflection questions that are very important. Do the work, start healing on you so you can be a better you.
Are you touring?
I am. I'm going to do some book tours. I just finished my tour with Country Wayne. We are down for 2 months, and then I'm going to start doing some book tours. We're going to do some women conferences around the country. Here's what I know. To be better people in the household, ideally we all want to be girlfriends or wives or whatever, mothers, whatever you are in the world, you got to be a better you. So we're all broken to some sort of capacity, right? So the goal is to fix ourselves. Work on ourselves, unpack our bags, because we all got baggage.
Everybody.
You just gotta make a decision. Like, we got baggage and luggage, and there's a difference. Luggage, you're going somewhere. Baggage is holding you down. Make a decision that you wanna let go of all that bags. Unpack it.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are very welcome. You are watching the Christeria Lynn Show. Until the next time.
I'm a Christeria, Christeria Lynn Show.